Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video, and yes, let's wrap things up with the Batman review marathon with, one more, Batman movie in the realm of animation, and that being Batman and Harley Quinn. Now, I remember, and this was definitely, I remember, because, it came out the year when, I started YouTube, and, I even did a video on it. Me and Little Blue, we went and saw Batman and Harley Quinn at one of our local movie theaters, because it was being screened, by Fathom Events, and, actually, because I think both me and him, we enjoyed it. It was actually pretty cool, and, for once, you have, because, Harley Quinn, joining alongside Batman and Dick Grayson, now Nightwing. And, of course, probably, yeah, because it's in the world of, I'm sure it's, in canon, in the Batman animated series, I want to say. But the story of this, the plot: Batman and Nightwing join forces with Harley Quinn to stop a global threat brought about by two supervillains who have stolen a formula that can transform humans into plant people. So, and of course the cast, you of course have Kevin Conroy once again as Batman / Bruce Wayne, and Lauren Lester as Dick Grayson / Nightwing. Yeah. And this time, Harley Quinn being voiced by Melissa Rauch. I think I said her last name right. And Melissa Rauch, best known for, being Bernadette in The Big Bang Theory, and coincidentally, her co-star, Kaylee Cuoco, aka Penny, she would go on. Kaylee Cuoco would go on to voice Harley Quinn in Harley Quinn's own animated series. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Two Big Bang Theory co-stars who would go on to voice Harley Quinn. What a coincidence, as I said. Anyways, so and the two villains, of course, those being, of course, Poison Ivy and is it Swamp Thing as well? Is Swamp Thing one of those? I want to say so, because I swear we did have Swamp Thing in there too. No, it was Floronic Man. I was making sure, because if we did or did not have Swamp Thing, I don't know, but apparently it's Floronic Man. Yeah, so, Floronic Man being voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson. Other characters for one thing, Poison Ivy being voiced by Paige Brewster? I think I said that right. And John DiMaggio voicing Sarge Steele. Charles something, it doesn't show the last name, voiced by Robin Atkin Downs, and Mindy Sterling does a voice as well, and Erica Basa, maybe I said that wrong, I don't know, voices a character by the name of Wesley, and even Rob Paulsen is the voice of those singing twins, because there are literally I remember the two song numbers in that, when at one point Batman, Dick Grayson, well, I should probably say Nightwing, Batman, Nightwing, and Harley, they're at this club or whatever it is, and there's dancing and performing songs, whatever, and the two twins, and who had, of course, they did appear in the Batman animated series. I forgot who they were working for, but Rob Paulsen does the voice of the twins, and literally, because he's voicing the twins, he's also singing, and the song that they sing are, "Don't pull your love out on me, baby, da 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 da." It's that song. Don't plug your love. I think that, I don't know. It's something like that. And gosh, I remember I heard about this, that Rob Paulsen was facing off, was going through cancer treatment, and God, like, he, just imagine, with him going through cancer and doing that, like, singing and such, God, he did it like a boss, you know, and it's Rob Paulsen, but thank God that he survived, and he was a cancer survivor, and, yeah, it's a miracle, because, you know, well, it wouldn't be the same without Rob Paulsen, like, not having him, like, now that Animaniacs is back, like, could you imagine if he wasn't here and, like, we didn't have him voice Yakko? You know what I mean? Just, yeah, and doing any other voice, you know? Any other voice work. But anyways, and right after that song number by the Twins, then Harley Quinn has her song number, which is Don't Leave Me Hanging on the Telephone, and that was a pretty good one, too. I think, yeah, they were real songs, but as of right now, I can't really remember on them. But, you know... and it had some funny moments. Batman and Harley Quinn had some funny moments, especially one part two things. While they're driving in the Batmobile, like, Harley Quinn's trying to say something, and Batman's just, you know, just doing that with his finger. But then another funny scene is where Harley Quinn is just begging to have Batman pull over so she can use the restroom, and... You know, Batman doesn't listen, you know, and it just says, you know, fine, and starts passing gas, and, yeah, Nightwing is just not liking it, and, you know, Batman is, at one point, like, you know, it's not so bad, and, you know, but then you see the look on Batman's face, like, this, like, it's getting worse for him, and of course, yeah, they should have listened to her, but, you know, she was not joking about that. Yeah. And also, how they got here's another thing, like, how they got Harley Quinn to join them as well. This was interesting, like, apparently Harley Quinn, you know, I guess pretending to be herself at this restaurant where these waitresses dress up as the heroes and villains, I want to say. Like, that's what I can remember. And Nightwing kind of follows Harley, but then at one point, Harley has Nightwing tied up to the bed, I guess. Yeah, and I don't know. Was she gonna have sex with him? I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, and like let me see. Like, I guess, yeah, like the showdown, like Batman, Robin, Harley Quinn having a showdown with the villains, and it was a weird way to end it. And still, I believe as though we did have Swamp Thing in there. And one of the last scenes is where, you know, Batman and Nightwing, I almost said Dick Grayson, but still, you know, they both kiss her on the cheeks, you know. And that was a weird way of how it ended. Like, something happened with Swamp Thing, like, you know, something was going on with Swamp Thing and such, and it just ended. Like, that was an interesting way to end it, but, you know. But I will say, Batman and Harley Quinn, I thought was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I know that, like, say, when me and my dad, aka Lil Blue, we saw this in theaters, I'm pretty sure that that it got some laughs in the theater, like, especially, like, say, me and Little Blue, so. Anyways, and how do I rate Batman and Harley Quinn? Well, what the heck, I'll give it, 8 out of 10 stars. 8 out of 10 stars. I thought it was pretty good, and when me and Little Blue saw it, yeah. And what about you guys? Like, have you seen this, and what you think of it, what you thought of my review? Leave comments and give this review a like as always. So, yeah. And with all that being said, the Batman review marathon has come to a close. It's been a lot of fun doing this review marathon of Batman. And especially, you know, almost leading up to the release of The Batman, because as you're watching this, it's almost here. And boy, because looking back at what I've reviewed of Batman from the live-action films and a couple of the animated films, because I considered, like, you know, when including a couple of the Batman animated movies, I decided to put them to be part of the review marathon as a bonus, but also as a treat. You know what I'm saying? A surprise, you name it. And yeah, I think that was a good idea I had. And looking at the live-action Batman films, you know, some tried their best. Like, of course, the Joel Schumacher Batman films tried their hardest, you know, and Joel Schumacher tried his hardest too, making good Batman films. Tim Burton's 2 Batman films, you know, I think both of them are just really good Batman films. And looking at, say, the Adam West Batman, well, you realize this: if we never, without the 1960s Batman show and the movie, we would not have what else would come with Batman, with the next movies and so on. And that's a fact. And you know something, like even like people say that the 60s Batman is not like, say, what they would expect a Batman being dark or anything. But I've learned this, and I wish that me and Lil Blue would have thought of this when we reviewed the 60s Batman movie. There should be like, say, a kid-friendly Batman. And Adam West's Batman is that for sure. It's definitely, because the 60s Batman is definitely for kids, but also, you know, adults can enjoy it too. Well, I mean, there are some adult jokes actually in the 60s Batman show, but there's just something about the 60s Batman that's important, and very important in the history of Batman. Okay, so, and yeah, and as I said, without Adam West's Batman, we wouldn't have anything else Batman that would come years on. You know what I'm saying? That would, yeah, years later, you know what I mean. And yeah, and even like, say, you know, it's a bit of a shame that, you know what, that I remember when it was announced that, you know what, before the Batman with Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson, we were at one point going to get a Batman movie with Ben Affleck's Batman. He was going to write and direct a Batman movie of his Batman. But I think at one point he did step down from being director so he can heavily focus on, you know, acting as Bruce Wayne / Batman. But unfortunately, you know, because that never came to be. Ben Affleck's Batman never got his own film, which is a shame. And, you know, when Matt Reeves stepped in, well, he redid the whole thing. He wrote his own Batman film and directed it, and with new cast of characters, like new incarnations of Batman, the characters of Batman, you know, just, yeah. And from the looks of those still, the Batman looks like it's going to be promising, and especially for this being almost 3 hours long, and just what to expect of this. And I especially, and as I record this, I recently watched an interview with the cast of Batman, and they were talking about the Batmans that, you know, that they watched and grown up with, and it really shows that, well, their respect and them liking Batman, you know, that's just amazing. And again, that's where I say, again, that the Batman looks like it's going to be promising. It seems like it's going to be promising. It's going to be huge. And even at one point, like, even Little Blue told me that it was going to be huge. And I totally agree. So anyways, guys, so that's it for the Batman review marathon, and leading up to the Batman, of course. I'm so excited, and don't worry, you are definitely going to see a review. I'm definitely, of course I'm going to review it, and I also intend for Little Blue to review it with me as well. So have that to look forward to. I hope you guys enjoyed the Batman review marathon. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next review marathon, I'll see you guys in the next video / review. Take care, and peace out.